Hey, what is up, everybody? My name is Jay, and in my hands right now is the much awaited and soon to be released rebuildable dripping atomizer proudly made in the Philippines. Now, this is from a guy we all know, love, and respect in the Philippine vaping community. His name is Philip, aka Progenitus, aka Progen, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Vortex. Now, I've been very excited about this Addy, and the moment I saw the teasers and the prototype, it literally blew me away. So you can imagine my excitement when it walked through my door. I just got this a couple of minutes ago, by the way, and the moment I got it, I immediately wrapped a coil and snapped it on there, which was really easy, by the way. This might be the first idiot-proof rebuildable, and this is what I got. So I got a nice coil going on there. I used 32 gauge canthal wires. Uh, I did 4 wraps on a folded strand of 2mm silica wick. And if you guys would join me, I would be happy to share my very first vape on the Vortex with all of you. So let me just drip in a couple of drops to top it off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By the way, I'm using Holy Smokes Minty Melon Milk, which, from what I know, is a 50-50 PG-VG mix. My build ohmed out at exactly 1 ohm. So I got 1 ohm on my first try. Let me power it up to somewhere around... Oh, sorry about that. I had it set at 3.3 volts. And let's take a couple of short drags on it, why don't we? Wow. Not bad at all. That is pretty good, I must say. Now, initial impressions on the Vortex. Flavor is definitely there. I mean, the moment you got the slightest ounce of heating on the Vortex, you immediately get the flavor on it, probably because of the elevated poles. Vapor production, as you saw, is effortless. I mean, I didn't even give it all I had back there. And the ease of build, as I said, idiot proof. This has been the easiest atomizer I've built ever. Um, Aesthetically, it looks awesome. It looks pretty badass on my Pro Vari. I'm sure it will look good on everything else. And I'm excited. I am excited to do this review. So give me a couple of days with the Vortex. Let me get back to you guys. For now, stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. So I've been using the Vortex for the past 4 days now. And to sum it all up, this thing is completely and utterly amazing. Amazing, outstanding, call it whatever you want. This thing is a class act, which really is as good as advertised. Now, before I get into all my raves about the Vortex, let me go ahead and tackle the specifications first. So the Vortex is made out of 304 stainless steel. It does have a polycarb insert on the top cap, if you guys can see right there. Um, it divides into 3 parts. So you've got your top cap, you've got your base, and if you can see the little slit down at the bottom, that is actually the part which houses your copper positive terminal, which I will be explaining later on. Now, looking at the internals now of the Vortex, uh, if you do own a rebuildable dripper, it's going to look pretty much the same on the inside. So you got your 2 poles, your positive and your negative pole, and if you guys could see right there, your positive pole is insulated by this black thing right there. This black part, which from what I was told is a mix of polyacetyl and polycarbonate. Hope I got that one right. The insulator hasn't given me any problems so far, but again, it is too early to tell. But it does look pretty solid. Again, on the insides, you will see that there is about a millimeter of clearance back there, which serves as your drip well or your juice well. Um, the top cap is also fastened by the single O-ring. Now, I really love these O-ring designs on rebuildables because of the fact that you can easily position your air hole depending on where your coil is built. So the O-ring snaps on pretty nice. It does not come off that easy. If you guys can see, there you can hear the snapping sound. It's pretty solid. I can easily pull out my drip tip without removing the top cap. No issues there. And yeah, the Vortex also has a native 510 thread, which would go on most of your mods. The drip tip hole is also suited for 510 and 901 drip tips at the same time. In terms of measurements, the Vortex is 20 millimeters in diameter, which is the reason why it looks pretty badass on most of my mods. It looks good on my ProVary. It looks good on a couple of mechanicals I snapped it onto. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. On the insides, though, because of the size and the width of the Vortex, you do have a lot of clearance space when you do want to build on the inside. There is around 16 to 18 millimeters on the internals, so a lot of space on the inside for building as well. So, now that we got that past this, let us get into the nitty-gritty of the Vortex and why I think it will be worth your money. Now, the Vortex, first of all, let me tackle the ease of build. Ease of build, if you guys could notice, your two posts do not have any inserts for an Allen wrench or a precision screwdriver. The reason for that is because the Vortex was designed to be tightened and loosened only by using your hands. So you're not going to need any tools except for your wire and wick if you do want to snap on a coil on the Vortex. You got these knurled knobs on top as well, which give you an added grip to it. And these knobs are really soft, by the way. It takes very little effort to screw and unscrew them. Great design on the Vortex in terms of ease of build. Um, the biggest advantage I see about that is if it so happens that you were in a restaurant or a cafe or somewhere else, and unfortunately your coil snaps on you, you're not going to have any problems. As long as you got your wick and your wire, you can easily wrap a coil, snap it on there, and you're basically good to go. Now, for the Vortex, this is hands down the easiest rebuildable I've ever built in my life. I mean, it is practically idiot proof. Any guy could wrap a coil and snap it on there without any trouble at all. Uh, Now that we got that down, 2 thumbs up for the ease of build in the Vortex. Let us go ahead and tackle the aesthetics now. Now, because of the wide diameter of the Vortex and because of this polycarb insert, aesthetically it looks good on practically any mod. Probably not on an Ego, but if you got these 18650, 18352 mods, if you got the ProVary, I haven't seen it on a box mod yet, but I'm assuming that from the looks of it, it will look pretty badass as well. Now, let us go ahead and dive into the performance of the Vortex. Now, because of the large chamber, it allows a lot more air to build up on the inside. By the way, the Vortex has a stock air hole of 1.5 millimeters, which is perfect for me. Not too loose, not too tight, just right. If you do plan on enlarging your air holes, though, it really is easy since the air hole is right on the polycarb, so it wouldn't take as much effort to bore a bigger hole on it compared to if you got stainless steel top caps. So with this one, you can easily just use a pin, heat it up, stick it in there, and slowly just go ahead and enlarge the air hole on this one. So great job. Performance-wise, flavor, it is definitely there. Because of the elevated poles, the coil basically strikes the tip of your tongue immediately as soon as you press the button on your mods. So great job on that. But to prove it, let me go ahead and do a slight vapor test on it. Let me just top it off with juice. I am currently using my Golden Dragon mod. in an 18350 setting. This is also a beautifully handcrafted mod, also made in the Philippines. And I've got my Atmos A4H drip tip on top. Um, and I have this built at 1.2 ohms, and my battery is somewhere at around 3.6, 3.7 volts, since I've been using it pretty much most of the day. So let me go ahead and take a couple of short drags on this one, just to show you what it's capable of. Wow, amazing. Man, this thing completely rejuvenates my vaping life, my vaping experience. Uh, this thing really got me back into vaping. I'm really enjoying the Vortex. Let me go ahead and take longer drags on it now. As you can see, because of the large chamber and because of well, basically the size of the chamber allows, as I said, allows a lot more air in it. It is capable of producing massive, massive amounts of vapor. Flavor wise, I wouldn't compare it to a Genesis tank with a stainless steel mesh. Um, with that being the benchmark, being a 10 out of 10, I'd give the flavor a solid 8.5 out of 10. I noticed though that the warmth of the vapor is not as prominent as it is with atomizers with much smaller chambers. But then again, not much of an issue for me. The flavor is definitely there. The vapor is definitely there. I am amazed by what this thing can do. Now, one of the best things I found out about the Vortex, one of my biggest revelations on it, is the amount of drops that it could actually hold. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Just bring this up here. Now, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Because of the size and the height of the vortex, and because of the fact that the air hole is pretty high up there, perfectly positioned with elevated poles, the vortex could take quite a number of drops, really. Let me show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 drops. To prove it to you guys, you can see the juice pretty much swimming in there. But again, the 15 drops is not enough to clear the space on the air hole, so I haven't got any sort of leaks on it. The single O-ring design is also holding up pretty well. So 15 drops. This thing is not even close to flooded. I've even found out that because of the fact that the wick is consistently soaked in the juice, it gives me even better flavor. So with that being said, the Vortex sort of acts like a semi-tank, sort of a tank, but once your juice dries up, it can hold about around an ml of juice, 1 to 1.5 ml of juice, without any troubles in the leaking department or in the flooding department. So I love that about the Vortex. With 15 drops, I can easily chain vape for the next 10 to 15 minutes without having to refill. Amazing. Amazing. Wow. All right. With that being done and said, the Vortex is an amazing atomizer. You got all those pros, you got all those advantages. It really is a game changer in the world of rebuildable drippers. Now, let me go ahead and tackle some of the cons and or some of the gripes I've had about the Vortex, rather. Um, if you guys could see, the top cap has a slanted slot for your drip tips. Now, one of the issues it might possibly have with some of the other vapors out there is the fact that because it is slanted, some of your drip tips might not look that good on it. If you got those wide, flat drip tips, I would not exactly recommend it in the Vortex. It does diminish the whole classy look and appeal of it. If you do have Cherry Vape Mings, though, if you have the ProGen Pyrex drip tips, if you have this Atmos A4H drip tip, it will look awesome on your Vortex. As I said, not really a big personal issue for me. One of the other gripes I've had about the Vortex is this bottom part. Now, this bottom part actually serves as a very groundbreaking feature on the Vortex. Let me just unscrew this part right here. So, as I mentioned earlier, this bottom part is pretty much what houses, not really houses, but what goes through your positive copper terminal. Now, the copper positive terminal is there, so with most rebuildable drippers, you can notice that the positive pin is directly in contact with your mod's connector. There is a tendency for it to either go up or to go down or to wiggle around. So the vortex really solves that problem. The copper also reduces a lot of the internal resistance which your atomizer would have to basically diminish the voltage drop on your mechanicals. Uh, with the vortex though, because of the top, or rather because of that bottom part not being reverse threaded, I've had, well, not really much of an issue, but there were some times with some of the mechanicals with rougher threads on them. There is a tendency for it to actually get stuck there, or not really get stuck there, but to stay there once you unscrew the vortex. So uh, if it were reverse threaded, it would have been a lot easier, a lot better. But then again, not much of an issue. It's only happened to me once in the past 4 days that I've used it, and it was on a mod which was notorious for its grisly little threads on the connector. So not much of an issue there as well. Um, Another thing which might trouble some of the vapors is the polycarb insert. Now, polycarb has a notorious reputation for cracking under mentholated juices, under bubblegum flavored juices, and other highly concentrated citrus juices. With the Vortex, for the past couple of days, I've tried all kinds of those juices. Haven't really had any problems with it cracking or any permanent damages I've seen on the polycarb. There have been no issues so far. I haven't really gauged it in the long run, but I will update this video later on after a couple of weeks of using it. So there you go. The Vortex, it is a bang for the buck atomizer. It currently retails at 2,800 pesos. Although there is a pre-list going on at the PVF site, which gives it at a discounted price of 2,700 pesos. As far as I'm concerned, the Vortex will be released by the 22nd of June 2013. For the first batch of pre-listers, you're going to be getting your Vortexes over at the participating shops as well, which carry them. Um, there it is. Bang for the buck mod. Perfect atomizer. It looks classy on almost anything you snap it on. It is not expensive. It performs really well. And there are very minimal issues on the Vortex. So all in all, I'd have to give this atomizer a thumbs up, a game changer, easy to build. Not a lot I could say about the Vortex. All praises, all raves. Great job on this one, Philip. Thank you guys for watching. I do urge you guys to go ahead and pick up or sign up for the Vortex. It will be available soon internationally as well. Stay tuned for any updates and any other upgrades on the Vortex. I will be posting the link of the pre-list going on at the PVF site right at the description down there. I will also be posting a link of ProGen's Facebook page for you to get updates on all the other products that he will be bringing in. So thank you so much, Philip, for sending me the Vortex. It really has been a game changer. Appreciate it so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see all of you guys soon. Vape on.